Tuchel refuses to concede, Liverpool refuse to score, and VAR refuses to make sense. Hello and welcome to All Balls, a show that keeps you up to date with all the Premier League action and fantasy football tips. With me, I have Carl Lewis, who is losing hair with every passing game of Arsenal. But that's our first game at Turf Moor. Had fun?
Not really. There's a lot of things that I really want to get off my chest, and there might be a little bit of censorship being thrown into this. No, but I mean, let's call the game the way it was. I mean, it was a horrible goal that Burnley got in the bargain. Granted, Xhaka again, like not exactly the best when it comes to playing Burnley, but he's also been the most error-prone player in the Premier League since his arrival in 2016-2017. I can't wrap my head around as to why they play him against a team like Burnley, because even in his previous 2 games, I think he was sent off as well. He got red cards.
Why do they play him, period? Not against Burnley.
He's a guy who, and we've discussed this before, he's a guy who plays decently on most occasions, but then he has that one off day which just ruins all the hard work that he's done before, and it annoys me. And now coming to the most important part of the game, VAR. What are you guys smoking? No, honestly.
But that was not handball.
What do you mean by it wasn't handball? No, honestly, like he could have literally carried the ball like freaking Simba and shown it to the rest of the Pride, and they still wouldn't give it as handball. And this is what I keep saying though. VAR is looking to be very suspicious now. Extremely suspicious. They can throw the rule book at us or whatever they want to do and make any excuse, but people can see it. Even the commentators are saying it as well, which is really frustrating. You laugh all you want,
I'm enjoying this rant.
No, but I'm sure you've also been in that position as well, even though you guys win a lot of penalties as well.
But they discussed it post-match that probably not. Now there's this new thing they've come up with, like they keep switching your offside rules and falana dimkana they keep doing. The new thing is, it's not clear and obvious. I've been hearing this from the last 7-8 weeks.
How was that not clear and obvious? You seen it yourself.
Calm your tits, I'm coming to it. I'm saying it's away from his body. Fair distance, debatable. But he's clearly changed the direction of the ball, or he's changed the direction of play.
Okay.
It was a penalty. What I want to understand is what is clear and obvious.
Again, this is also a question I throw out to VAR and to those watching at home. I'm still wrapping my head around it. As he said, I have lost my hair for it as well.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was twice. I mean, the handball first one was debatable.
No, the first hand. Oh, you mean the shot
same
that he
incident,
took? Yeah. Well, okay, that happened really quickly, and fine. You can even give him the benefit of the doubt. You can give Eric Peters the benefit of the doubt because it happened so quickly. You don't have time to react. But then on the second movement, he has blatantly put out his left hand, and
it's hit it.
It's hit it, and VAR has checked, and they're like, yeah, all clear. I mean, and then for other games, I mean, I hate to say it, but for particular top 6 teams and top 4 teams, which I know Arsenal's on the running for, but you get these decisions.
Callum Hudson-Odoi wore it like an engagement ring and we didn't get it.
Yeah, but then on other occasions I'll have as well.
But it's bad luck for you because last week with Spurs Fulham, Mario Lemina's hand was on his body.
Yeah.
And it was smashed at him. Maja scored, but it was ruled out.
It was ruled out.
It's not consistent.
It is not consistent, and this is the thing where I'm saying VAR is mad suspicious. I'm beginning to feel, and I've been very vocal about this before in the past, put the benefit of the doubt to the players. Let them make an appeal. Because it really doesn't make sense that you have 4 people sitting in a separate room outside of Turf Moor. They're not even within the vicinity, but they're sitting in a separate area and they are deciding what's a penalty and what's not. I mean, I find that very annoying, very frustrating, and honestly, this was a game we should have won, albeit we made a mistake in also giving them the goal as well. Chris Wood looked shocked as well. Like he was pretty stoked.
I still can't wrap my head
and fair
around
enough. Also, taking nothing away from Burnley, towards the end, they had 2 decent chances.
But
they could have sealed the game.
Apart from the VAR, you had Pepe.
I'm still scratching my head as to why Arteta has not started Pepe, because he was starting him consistently and he was performing consistently. And then to put him on a bench against a team like Burnley and put a guy like Xhaka, who's like a bogey guy for the team against Burnley, I'm still wrapping my head around it. But
tactical error, or
I would say it's a tactical error. It's a tactical error because I think Pepe is the kind of guy who needs to grow into the game and he needs to start. When you bring him on to the bench, again, he's someone who still has to find his feet, depending on who's playing.
He's playing well this season without crowds. There's no pressure.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, Burnley's a very physical team. So you expect Burnley to take it to a guy like Nicolas Pepe.
But you had the lead with Oba, who's, he scored most goals against them. had a good chance with Saka.
Yeah.
So you had the game. It was there for the taking. Well, the goal you conceded was just horror, shock horror.
Kudos to Saka though, by mentioning him though. Like, I mean, kudos to him. He's like what, the second youngest Premier League player behind Cesc Fabregas to complete 50 Premiership appearances. But I honestly thought he and Partey were the most sloppiest on the field.
Did you deserve 3 points from this game? Honest answer.
I honestly think we did. I felt we were robbed, especially when it came to the Peters incident, because Eric Peters should not be on the pitch. He fouled Lacazette before that. He got a yellow card. Handball or no handball, I mean, if there was given a handball, whether he gives a yellow card, that's a referee's decision. But if it is, from what we know, if it's a blatant handball, you should get a card for it. And he shouldn't be on the pitch. That would be a second yellow card. And then later on, when it hits his shoulder, which the ref has clearly seen and thinking it's a handball, he's given him a red card, but then VAR finally intervenes. And they were like, no, it hit his shoulder. Which was fair. VAR did the right thing. I give that to VAR. But then why not the handball? I'm still annoyed. We can go on all bloody day about this.
I was just about to say that we're going to take an oxygen break and then we're going to move to our next game.
But we will move on to our next game. But trust me, for those watching also at home, you tell me, what does VAR have to do to win over fans and the players? Well, the goose is all but cooked for Sheffield United.
They want to eat.
I mean, you might as well just stick a fork in them. They're done. I mean, another loss to
Best
Southampton.
game for Southampton to get after like
what, 9 winless games? Yeah, 9 winless games. A good little pickup for them.
They were ruthless, as you can say, without a Danny Ings.
Yeah.
You know, who they lost pretty early on in the game. But they were ruthless, 15 shots, 7 on target, chances created.
Yeah.
Ward-Prowse being Ward-Prowse.
He's probably the biggest player. I think
he's probably the best penalty taker in the league in terms of the way he steps up and he just slots it.
I'd go one up and I'd probably say that he's one of the best dead ball specialists.
No, dead ball specialists, yes, no doubt. But, from the spot, you've seen your Brunos miss them, you've seen Jorginho miss them, you've seen Salah miss them.
Obama.
This guy, this guy you just don't feel he's going to miss.
Yeah.
He reminds me of, Juninho, who used to, for him, free kicks were penalties.
Penalties, yeah.
So, slots it home. He's got 12 goal involvements. Their best player by a margin.
But they were lucky again. They were playing a team like Sheffield again, which is all but relegated.
For them, it's 3 points, right?
For them, it's 3 points. But do you think there's going to be a lot of added pressure on James Ward-Prowse because again, he's their only creative?
Yes, also because of the fact that they've probably lost Oriol Romeu for the season.
Yeah.
So that is another responsibility he will have to fulfill because they only have youngsters in there. While Armstrong can fit in there, he's a very
he was very highly influential in this match.
Attack-minded player. Can't really hold the center. So Ward-Prowse will have that responsibility to take that kid along with him.
Yeah.
But I think for them, yes, Sheffield did come at a great time. Next game is not good for them.
Yeah.
But they took their 3 points, they took their chances, they took their clean sheet. Shea Adams scored a freaking bullet.
Yeah, that was fantastic, by the way. Big up, Shea Adams.
And if not for Ramsdale, I think they would have got.
They would have gotten a couple of more. I mean, even though I'm the one who's put Ramsdale on the
but yeah, mixture
cross a couple of times.
Good goalkeeping and bad finishing.
Yeah.
Like Nathan Tella had a chance in the beginning where his defender left him short.
Yeah.
So I think routine 3 points for Southampton should give them confidence going in against City.
Yeah.
But these are the games you have to take, whether you're on the top of the table. Yeah. And I'm not just saying it because, they're bottom of the league, but it's just the way Sheffield are playing, the amount of goals they're conceding. They're demotivated. Like you said, they're cooked.
The goose is already almost cooked.
Like, it was a good win for Southampton. And
well, all the best, Sheffield United in the championship.
I'm dedicating 90 seconds to this game, which has taken 90 minutes away from my life.
Yeah.
Which is Villa versus Wolves.
Yeah.
Which has seen the most shit finishing I have ever seen. Whether it be centre forward or centre back.
Yeah.
How Roman Saiz has missed that, I will never know.
You would expect that both them being attacking teams, you would think they would be either goal fest or someone at least winning it. Aston Villa's now again turned out to be like a whole kind of dollar store version. Not a dollar store, but maybe a high-end version of Leeds. Like they're beginning to be very hot and cold
Leeds
as well.
Leeds is entertaining. This game wasn't even entertaining.
It wasn't even entertaining. I mean,
it was just Pedro Neto running one side and it was Burton Traore running the other side. Or maybe Ollie Watkins to an extent. I think the best Arsenal player this season has been Emiliano Martinez.
Pretty much.
I said Arsenal, sorry. Did I touch you?
Diggs. No. It's okay. I'll get some ice.
He said also he's going one step up in his career.
Well, again, call a spade, but yeah, Emiliano Martinez is right now the best goalkeeper right now in the Premier League. 14 clean sheets.
And you know they won't concede or they'll be steady at the back because there's a John Terry in that stuff.
Yeah.
But attacking, I still don't find enough reason that if you're missing an El Ghazi or if you're missing a Grealish, you can't get a goal.
Yeah, they should
For a
have
team
enough
who's
players.
who's troubled the big teams. They've put 7 past the champions. They've put 3 past Arsenal. They've scored against Chelsea. They've scored against United. Very difficult to see that they don't score against a team like Wolves.
Well, give credit to the Wolves' defense. Again, it was a boring game, but
Aston Villa will give credit to the Wolves' defense for missing bloody in front of goal.
Yeah, I mean, but again, you can't take away the fact that Wolves also did try the least that they could. Again, considering that they don't have a lot of attacking options, that I think Willian Jose is still finding his feet in the Premier League. So again, the onus is still on Neto, which is sad. But yeah, I mean, I was expecting a lot more from this game. But Emiliano Martinez, man, the best goalkeeper, I would say, by far in the Premier League so far.
Okay, 90 seconds are done.
Pretty much. Brendan Rodgers' men keep marching forward with another win against Brighton, and Brighton keeps going closer and closer to the relegation zone. Yeah.
I feel bad for them. They played well. They played very well. They were hard done by the first goal. I just feel that pass was kind of a matka by Tielemans. Second one, just bad goalkeeping and just luck.
Yeah, I would say also it's bad.
It just hit him in the head. He didn't even know where he was heading it. But Brighton played the better football. Leicester looked lost without Barnes and Maddison.
Yeah.
Vardy can't find his feet in front of goal.
Well, he doesn't have anyone to supply him in any case. So maybe his brother Cardamom might help also.
He scored a couple of bangers actually.
Yeah.
Iheanacho in the last game and in this one. But I don't know. I just feel injuries is getting to Leicester.
So would you think it's more of like, I'm sure Leicester was more of a smash and grab kind of a thing for them against Brighton.
All credit to them because they went for it with the players they had. He played the youngsters, knocking on the door till the end, got his goal.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a convincing Leicester City performance.
True, but it's an important Leicester performance.
No, it's an important performance. But if they come against the bigger, better teams, with no disrespect to Brighton, if they come against the Chelseas, the Uniteds, the Cities, the Liverpools, they will... Oh, I said Liverpool, sorry. They will find it difficult.
Yeah.
So, a lucky win for them, I would say.
Yeah.
Brighton, I still feel, will escape.
You think so?
I think so. I think Fulham will come out. Newcastle or Burnley will be one of the two to go back in.
Oh, I have a weird feeling it's Brighton and Newcastle.
No, I think it's Newcastle.
Yeah.
Favouring Newcastle right now to go down.
We'll get to them, no worry. But yeah.
West Brom, Newcastle at Hawthorns, Dubravka, Johnston.
Pretty much. Like it was...
What do I talk about? What?
Nothing. I mean, again, Newcastle are, slowly playing that very dangerous game. Like relegation is being dangled in front of them. It's turning out to be quite the season for Steve Bruce and his men.
It's hit them, no? Callum Wilson getting 60% of the goals now. There's no Callum Wilson.
There's no Callum Wilson, and they're going to have to, again, depend on the old legs of Andy Carroll. I mean, again, another non-existent forward that they have is Joel Linton. I still try to figure out, I've tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, but Joel Linton now is just withering away. The only bright spark I can give to Newcastle is probably Almiron, who's decent this season.
The only interesting thing about this game that I feel this was a relegation battle.
Pretty much. But
both of them are going down.
I know. We discussed this in the previous segment, but I still feel it'll be... No, you said what? Brighton, right?
No, I said Brighton might stay up. I feel Newcastle or Burnley will go down.
Oh, okay. No, I think it's Brighton and Newcastle.
Is Newcastle going down? Yes or no?
Yeah, I think so. They keep it at this rate. I pretty much think so, yeah. Well, we did discuss that the goose is already cooked for a team like Sheffield United, but it looks like Liverpool's goose is on its way to the oven. So, another loss to Fulham, a home loss.
Let's talk about 6, baby!
Oh, I thought you were going to do a little break.
No, are you mad? Okay. It's only that much for Liverpool.
Yeah, but what's
101 shots, 1 goal, no goals from open play at Anfield this year.
It's a shame with the attacking firepower that they have.
But we'll blame Van Dijk.
Yeah, of course. No, we'll blame the wind. We'll blame
no Van Dijk, no Joe Gomez, so we are not scoring.
Yeah, but again, for a relegation threat to Fulham, they really looked like they wanted it.
They wanted it really badly.
And credit to Mario Lemina for that wonderful strike. Good goal.
The steal of Salah.
Yeah.
The way he stole it off him was what made that goal.
A defining moment of the match, basically.
I don't know. Liverpool didn't have that edge about them. They didn't have that energy about them. Fulham wanted it way more.
Yeah.
Liverpool didn't want it.
Yeah, well, Liverpool did have 16 shots, 12 on target. I mean, they had the lion's share of attacking.
What matters is the line.
The goal crossing the line. And it is something for Klopp to really think and see what's happening with his attack. Yeah, you can make your excuses and all your whatever arguments when it comes to his defense line, which is fine because we've seen in the past that other teams also struggle when their defense line is down to bare minimum. But when you have a quality attack of Firmino, Mane and Salah and you can't score a goal against Fulham. Jota as well. Jota had an excellent chance as well.
One of the best midfielders in the world.
I mean, they made Areola look like prime Peter Schmeichel as well. So, I mean, like, he pulled out some really decent saves as well.
Tosin looked like Maldini.
Yeah, Tosin, again, had 17 clearances. I mean, we probably had the most busiest day from all the Fulham defenders.
That was John Terry, Sol Campbell, Vidic, Ferdinand, all in one guy.
Pretty much. And also the guy who was partnering him, Anderson, the captain, they really combined well to keep a team like Liverpool at bay. But again, it's a lot of questions for Liverpool and for Liverpool's fans. Do you think this is now the beginning of the end for their season? Because they're just dwindling further and further away. And Europe might not even be a prospect for them.
Europe? The last time they lost 6 or they got relegated.
Oh yeah, that was in the 1950s. So I mean, it's a lot of things to think about for Liverpool and as Liverpool fans. You can tell us also, those who are watching, where you think...
Potentially 8th. Do you have any shame?
But tell us though, as Liverpool fans, do you really think that, where do you think, as Liverpool fans, do you think will Liverpool land up in the table at the end?
2 points above Arsenal.
Ooh, Diggs.
Good season for you then.
Yeah.
2 points below the champions.
The match of the weekend, the Manchester Derby. The last time we were discussing about the Manchester Derby, we spoke about watching paint dry. But at least now we had a discussion. So please, Mr. Raul, take
they had to come out. They had to come out firing.
Yeah.
This was the only game United had control of to cut some points of City.
Yeah.
So they had to come out firing. The fear was that they will screw us in the bargain. You know, the form they're in, considering the fact that John Stones and Ruben Dias are not letting anything go through.
Yeah.
But United pressed well in the beginning. Bruno got his goal.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it was his best penalty, but he got his goal. But they still did not stop attacking. I think what worked against City was the timing of the goals.
Okay.
Early in the first half, trying to come back into the game.
Then
early in the second half.
Play as well. The second
Rodri hit the post and in the next attack, Shaw scored.
Yeah. And it all started with Henderson, who I think made 6 saves or something in the whole game. But
and with Luke Shaw, who's involved in 5 goals in the last 7 appearances.
He basically channeled his inner Gareth Bale.
That run was you were waiting to say that.
Yeah, of course I wanted to say that. But that was again, like we talk about players who are having a renaissance season. We talk about John Stones. But we haven't really talked much about Luke Shaw as well, who I think is just quietly going by his business.
I think it's also to do with the introduction of Alex Telles into the side.
Yeah, like he wants to keep him out.
I have competition. First, there was no competition. Competition was Brandon Williams.
Yeah.
He's a kid. He knows big games, whether he performs or not, Luke Shaw will play.
Yeah.
Now he knows there is a more than able left back who will replace him if he does not perform.
True.
Now Van Bissaka, you can say on the other hand, has a head over his shoulder because even though he knows he has only a Brandon Williams, he is still playing like he used to.
Yeah.
There's no complacency. The only complacency is that 80 million piece of shit in the middle. But
the blockhead who
Yeah.
called Rashford a knobhead.
Yeah.
I mean, you're winning 2 goals.
He's jumped out of nowhere. He's cleared the ball. The poor fellow is coming back from an attack and he's saying you're offside. He knows he's offside.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell him. You need to figure out how to play people offside. Not play them onside like he did against Everton. Asshole. But
it's a clean sheet though for good old blockhead.
which is shocking.
I know. It's
His
a rare
4th
occasion.
clean sheet in a row or something. 3 or 4.
He probably holds it at night when he goes to sleep and all that.
No, but it's just the fact that there was no David De Gea.
Yeah.
There was no Cavani. You needed that kind of experience in such a big game.
Yeah.
Martial was not sure if he was going to start, not going to start. Worries about his fitness.
Yeah.
Won the penalty, and for all those fans, including you Arsenal fans and especially Chelsea fans, I want to mention names, but I won't. Saying that, Bruno only gets penalties, United gets penalties. Tell me that was not a penalty.
No, that was
as clear as day. And for the other part of it, where Bruno only scores penalties, he's got the most goals ever since he's debuted in the competition. Look at his numbers. It's unreal.
No, I've eaten humble pie. I've told you before. Like at first, I thought he was a one-trick pony, but as I gradually started watching the way he plays with United, I've become a fan of Bruno as well. Like he has the most amount of chances created. assists and goals.
And he's a leader on the field.
Yeah, although you can call him out for sometimes being a bit of a brat when it comes to things like, oh, you should have given up a penalty. Like there have been cameras catching him and stuff like that.
But you have big players doing that.
Oh yeah, of course. Don't
get me started on players like Neymar and all that.
Yeah, De Bruyne as well.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, they also have a habit of...
And Sterling on the other side.
Yeah, Sterling, again, 0 chances, 0 shots, I think. In all, what is it, third or fourth Man City?
30 shots he's taken against United, he's not scored.
Yeah, and you were expecting...
For Raheem Sterling, 50 million. What happened?
Another guy who I think had a very, very tame game, who again had lots of hype coming into this, was Joao Cancelo. I had a lot of hope. He was the sloppiest from the back line.
His worst game of the season.
Yeah.
But you don't say that often about him. He's not had a bad game also.
Yeah.
So you can forgive him one game.
Yeah.
But overall, City, I won't say they look bad.
Yeah.
I won't say they look sloppy. Probably not their day.
Yeah.
But they were just shocked with the way Ole came out.
I put it down to complacent. I think they just got complacent thinking, oh, it's United.
Not in a derby, I think.
It's Maguire at the back line. We're going to just walk this one in. And I think at that point, someone in United, like Bruno himself, must have just picked up the mantle and said, no, we're going to take it to them.
Yeah, but and somewhere
because because I'm sure even in the Manchester United dressing room, they're probably thinking like they are the favourites. Like even though they are United's in good form. So like, let's surprise them. Let's hit the ground running and surprise them.
You never see a United team pressing so early in a game.
Yeah, and they basically played the way City normally starts a game. Yeah,
exactly.
So City, I think, was just stunned. They were
That's what I'm saying. Timing of the goals. First minute of the first half, first 5 minutes of the second half.
Yeah.
That kind of deflated City. But again, give credit, while I hate to say it, to Ole for being tactical.
Yeah.
He's beaten Pep thrice at the Etihad now. He's the
third
manager.
Company.
Yeah. Klopp and Mourinho. While I hate Mourinho. And Klopp,
less said the better.
Exactly. But yes, he's not been tactical. He was in this game. I think McTominay was an important player in this game. Bruno, of course.
Of course, he's an influence. So,
and Dean Henderson coming in, with De Gea missing, Dean Henderson not playing too often, not getting too much game time in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Commands the box. He's young, but he's good.
Well, we have discussed the again of Dean Henderson in the past before, and I think he is someone who I think is going to ask for that Manchester United #1 jersey.
He'll take the #1 jersey pretty soon.
At some point, because I mean, we don't know where De Gea is going to be going on by the end of the season, or whether he's staying or what. He's got a little baby girl and stuff, so he's probably being distracted by that. But I would say he's their best kind of heir to the throne of De Gea.
Probably. And again, you usually in such games, you say that United play on the counter. They absorb the pressure, they play on the counter, they're best doing that. But this one, we deserve the 3 points.
Oh yeah.
Whatever said and done, even though it's a City in front of us, we deserve the 3 points because we played well, and the fact that we kept a clean sheet, broke their winning run.
With Maguire on the back line.
Exactly. I think we did that to Arsenal also. We beat them before the 50th game.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was Rooney from a Sylvester cross on the left.
Yeah, pretty much. United has ended all 3 unbeaten streaks. Whether it was Chelsea's, Arsenal's, and I think even City's as well. So that's a fun fact. Like United just seems to be like giant killers.
Like they say, Ole turns into Fergie when there's a big game.
Pretty much.
So it's only 11 points. I mean, it's not only 11 points, but probably hoping for a couple of teams here and there to do us a favor to at least make this a 2-horse race.
Yeah.
And not let them run away with it. But important for us because Chelsea and Leicester are up our asses. So, it would have been a 1 point gap if we would have lost. So, United winning this game was important and for the confidence and the morale of the team.
Yeah. Kudos to United. Well done.
Spurs versus Palace, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Does it hurt?
No, it doesn't. But they were taken aback. Initially, though.
Yes, but then
they were kind of stunned with that Benteke goal, and it kind of shook them a little bit. Of course,
Gareth Bale.
This guy needs to play in day in and day out. We all know what a quality player is. We all know what he's capable. He can make something out of nothing.
He's slowly coming into the mood.
I think it's just the fans, pressuring Mourinho. Because again, Mourinho is a guy who we all know. He likes to park the bus after scoring 1 goal or 2 goals. We don't know Jose Mourinho for scoring a lot of goals. And he came out and he made a joke about it, apparently Tottenham have scored 100 goals this season. And he's like, not bad for a defensive team.
For a park the bus team, not a defensive team.
And again, you got to give a lot of credit to someone like Bale's input. But the combination of Son and Kane, that's just frightening.
And I think Kane is the
that
pivot.
focal point, yeah.
Because he's dropping deep.
Yeah.
He's got 13 assists, 15 goals, best in Europe.
Yeah.
Him and Son creating a record, combining 14 times.
14 times,
That's unreal. And to bring out another fact, Kane has had 30 chances, 30 shots and 30 clearances.
Yeah.
So, he's probably next Wayne Rooney.
Pretty
where
much.
now he's doing the up and down. Like, he had a couple of clearances in the game as well.
Yeah.
And his second goal was just
Class. Yeah.
It
was just like poetry in motion.
instant goal of the season contender.
True.
It was mad.
And again, I think this whole episode this time now has been more of on the flavor of people who are Renaissance players who are just coming back again and take nothing away from Bale again. Like from what he did last season.
Regulon on the left helps. He's more attacking than Davis. He links up better with Son or Bale, whoever switches to that side.
Yeah.
And I think the difference in this game was he played a Lucas Moura behind the striker.
Yeah.
Which technically is not behind the striker because Kane drops.
Yeah.
Which then gives him that pace. So the pressure of Son and Bale to make that run is off.
True.
Because Dele Alli could not make those runs and Ndombele could not make those runs with that pace into the box. This playing Moura gives the opposition defense something to think about in terms of pace, and Palace we all know is not the fastest.
They're not exactly the fastest.
The first goal, yes, mistake, your favorite Milivojevic.
Yeah.
He made up for it with that cross, to Benteke.
Yeah.
Great hang time. In the game until half-time, but Spurs just blew them away after that.
Yeah, pretty much. And like coming back to Gareth Bale that I was trying to explain, like in his last season at the La Liga, he scored 3 goals in 16 appearances. Now in his first 3 Premier League matches, he scored 3 goals.
Why you give him an extra goal? He scored 2 in 16 appearances.
Oh, my apologies. It was 2. I got my facts wrong. But still, again, it's another man who's having a renaissance moment in his career. He's getting the opportunities to play. I think Mourinho needs to play more often if they have to, challenge for Europe or even challenge for the title. Well,
I just feel he's going to give him back to Real Madrid. Madrid's going to keep Bale, sell Hazard.
But then make the most of it right now. And I think that's what Mourinho has realized. Like, we're
He
coming
needs
towards
to
the
if
end
he
of the
wants the
season.
top 4.
Yeah, we're coming towards the end of the season. This is the business end. This is where everyone's going to either fight for the title, fight for Europe, or fight relegation. And this is the time where you need your strongest and your top players to perform. And Bale is hitting his peak right now. But it would be hilarious though for the next game if he doesn't play. I just wonder what is going through Mourinho's
He wants
head.
to rest him.
Yeah,
Why, I don't know, but he wants to rest him.
Just play everyone, So, again, though, great game, great win for Tottenham. They keep marching on, which is great for Mourinho, but Roy and his boys will be licking their wounds, and it doesn't look even better for them moving onwards. Our next match takes us to Stamford Bridge. Thomas Tuchel, the miracle man, 5 games, not conceded a goal. 2-0 win against...
brought Kai Havertz back to life.
He bought Kai Havertz. He's revived a young player that they bought, which is great. I mean, it's...
For millions.
Pretty much, yeah. But
what they played against revive?
But they played against a rather depleted Everton. I mean, there was no...
Everton was... I mean, they've come off a good run. They're in good form. They just played like shit. Richarlison had 1 chance. He should have put it in. But Chelsea dominated them.
Pretty much.
And the fact that Zuma played, I was happy that, one of Zuma and Thiago Silva obviously is injured.
Yeah.
But Rudiger coming in was a bit of a shock to me considering Zuma played well all season. But Zuma's back, he's tweaked the formation. The 3 at the back with the 2 wing backs and the 2 holding midfield gives players like Mount, Kai Havertz
that freedom
exactly
to move forward, yeah.
And Werner needs to probably get some tetanus shots, some megs, some, get some laser shit done in his eye.
What, 3 chances to you on the last
he cannot
open
finish.
chances of 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper.
He just cannot finish.
And that just confines his confidence even lower. Like it
He's playing like Salah, Mane, Firmino combined.
Ooh, dig at Liverpool players.
I loved it.
Saucy.
Saw looks coming at him. I can still feel the looks coming.
But again, do you think it's still Thomas Tuchel who's still fine-tuning the Chelsea side, but he's getting results?
Yeah, but he's a new manager. He will get results. Every new manager gets results.
Oh yeah, there's always that boom period when they join.
There's always.
I mean,
Ole came in 12 games, 13 games, and then Arsenal ruined it.
Yeah.
Every new manager will get it. The fact is that after he is found out, how will he react to it?
True.
Because he's still not tested out a few players in his squad.
I still feel he hasn't found his 11 yet. I honestly still feel he hasn't found his 11
Playing
yet.
Playing Azpilicueta in the absence of Thiago Silva, yes. But in this team now with all 5 performing, when Thiago Silva comes in, without a doubt, he's going straight into the middle. Whom do you play then?
Yeah.
He's brought Marcus Alonso back to life, yes. But you've paid so much for Chilwell. Which one do you play?
Which one do you play? True. And which one, again, both of them are attacking wing backs.
This season, okay, games are, every 3 days, 4 days, rotation, agreed. What about when things are back to normal? What about when there are games every week?
Do you think a player like Tammy Abraham is going to have a future?
Tammy Abraham and Giroud are going to bounce if they watch Werner play like this and they're sitting on the bench.
Yeah, for sure. It must be really frustrating for two forwards
and
the quality forwards who have scored. Yeah,
the chances he's had, if they might have just finished 50% of them.
Yeah.
Callum Hudson-Odoi, okay, agreed. Pulisic on the bench.
Yeah, that's another thing that puzzles me. Like Pulisic,
Kante is on the bench.
Kante's on the bench as well.
Mount, okay, fine. He was rested. He played Havertz. It worked out. But again, he's your first name on the team sheet.
Oh yeah, he's their best player by far. I mean,
Which is scary after spending so many millions.
True.
That a Mason Mount is your first name.
A homebred player. I mean, still great job for Chelsea and their team. I mean, Thomas Tuchel, what did they go up to what, third or fourth?
They're on fourth, potentially fifth, depending on West Ham's game in hand.
Yeah.
But good results for him, agreed.
Absolutely.
But I'm still not sure that he's been tested as yet.
Only time will tell. But I think those tests will come at some point. I mean, they will have some sort of difficulties, and I'm sure whatever goes up will come down at some point.
Because he's
Whether it's this season or the
beaten
next.
Spurs, he's drawn with United, he's played a depleted Liverpool. He's played, probably Everton was at their peak, the only team that was at their peak when Chelsea played them and dominated.
Yeah.
But then again, it's an Everton without a James. So it's...
And I've tipped Everton for Europe, and I think now they're slowly just losing grip on that. I think Ancelotti is...
I had gone for Werner Golden Boot. I'm trying to delete that video. But I said it in 2-3, I can't even escape. Like Werner for Golden Boot.
You'll get mostly at the golden sock, I think.
Bugger play, man. Andrews also he won't score. He's so bad.
The golden shin pad for Werner.
Leeds fail at the capital again. West Ham at the London Stadium. Ex-United rejects combine and beat Bielsa.
Yeah.
They had their chances.
They did have their chances. Of course they did. Like Rafinha and Bamford kept inching away. They had two really decent chances as well.
One decent chance which he hit straight at Fabianski.
Yeah.
But otherwise West Ham looked in control after the first goal.
Of course. When they have a guy like Lingardinho in their side.
He scored 4 goals for us in 40 games.
But he's done now, what, 4 and 6 for West Ham.
That's what I'm saying.
And as I said, the flavor of this episode is player revival. We spoke about, Luke Shaw and stuff like that, and John Stones in the past. Here's another Englishman who has now just revived his whole career.
But that was such a shit penalty, and he took it off Declan Rice.
He
had an argument with him last game. Then he's like, "I'll take the penalty this game," and he shat all over it.
You got to give him props for his confidence, though. Even though he misses,
you don't know how to take, don't take, no.
I know that, but he still got on the rebound, which is still fine enough for me. I mean, he is a man who's still brimming with a lot of confidence.
He's in my fantasy team. He gets -2 for missed penalty. Doesn't get bonus also.
That's the fantasy thing you can keep to yourself. But right now, let's talk about Lingard.
You really think if Lingard was on United, I would have taken him in my fantasy team?
No.
Then?
Yeah, but
now that he's giving points.
Call a spade though. West Ham, they look like another team that's challenging now for Europe. They seem to be pipping Everton.
Potentially fourth, depending on the game in hand.
Pretty much. And again, a lot of credit to David Moyes, being a really good man motivator.
Defensively, he's got them very organized. They looked in control after the first goal.
Yeah.
Cresswell is a left-footed James Ward-Prowse in defense.
Yeah.
His dead balls are just class.
Yeah.
And they've got, Upson and Ogbona's gone, but they have Issa Diop over there.
Yeah.
Solid.
Pretty much. And even knowing for the fact, we know that Leeds is a very hot and cold team. They've been the most inconsistent team this season. So nothing surprises me when you come to see a score like West Ham beating Leeds, because I guess it was that other side of Leeds that turned up again.
It was just a sloppy
shoot, no goal, kind of a thing.
Sloppy Leeds. It's like Granit Xhaka captaining them.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I hate to say that, but yeah, it is Granit Xhaka. It's sad to see a team like Leeds, because again, we like the exciting football that they play. And you would think that against a team like West Ham, taking no credit away from West Ham as well, but a team like West Ham, you would expect them to take it to them. But full credit to West Ham and their resolution in defense. At the rate they keep going, yeah, why not? They can dream. I mean, maybe if not top 4, top 6 looks like a highly likeliness.
United shock City, Fulham all but out of the Premier League, and West Ham and Leicester aspire for Europe. That's it for this week's episode. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, click the bell icon, follow us on Instagram. Stay safe.
Peace.